So guys, welcome to the channel once again. In today's video on JAMB Biology exam revision series, we have 20 questions here to answer on the topic nutrition. So guys, ensure to stay till the end of this video. If at any point in this video you feel you want to answer the question before we provide the answer, you can always feel free to pause this video and try out to see if you can get the answer to the question even before we provide the answer thereafter. So guys, here we'll start with the first question. It says, which vitamin plays an important role in blood clotting? A, vitamin K, B, vitamin C, vitamin A, D, vitamin B12. So guys, the answer to this question is option A, and that's vitamin K. Vitamin K plays an important role in blood clotting. It is a fat-soluble vitamin that is involved in the production of several proteins necessary for blood clotting. So without sufficient vitamin K, the blood will not clot properly, and this will lead to excessive bleeding. So let's look at the next question. And that's question number 2. It says, which of the following is a food test commonly used to detect the presence of starch? A, iodine test, B, Biuret test, C, Benedict test, D, Sudan red test. So guys, iodine test is a carbohydrate test that is specific for testing the presence of starch. So guys, the answer to this question is option A, and that's the iodine test. So let's consider the next question. Question number 3. It says, the order of passage of food in the digestive system is A, ileum, cecum, large intestine, and rectum. B, ileum, colon, cecum, and rectum. C, colon, cecum, ileum, and rectum. D, large intestine, ileum, cecum, and rectum. So guys, the correct answer to this is option A, and that's ileum, cecum, large intestine, and rectum. So guys, the ileum is the part of the small intestine that leads to the large intestine, whereas cecum is the first part of the large intestine, so it leads to other parts of the large intestine. It's actually found at the beginning of the large intestine, and then it leads to the main parts of the large intestine. So guys, at the end of the large intestine, you have the rectum that leads to the anus. So guys, the correct sequence here is ileum first, before the cecum, which leads to the main large intestine, and then lastly the rectum, which leads you out of the large intestine to the anus. So guys, let's take note. The option A here is the correct answer to this question. So let's consider the next question, guys. Question number 4. It says, the enzyme invertase will hydrolyze sucrose to give A, mannose and galactose, B, glycerol and fatty acid, glucose and fructose, C, maltose and glucose. So guys, whenever you hydrolyze sucrose, you always get glucose and fructose, because glucose plus fructose will give you sucrose. So guys, the enzyme invertase will hydrolyze sucrose to give you glucose and fructose. So let's look at the next question, guys. That's question number 5. It says, use the diagram below to answer the question that follows. So guys, look at the diagram here we have here, and actually the question here says the arrow labeled II represents the A, intake of carbon dioxide, B, movement of photosynthesis, C, release of oxygen, and D, movement of nutrients. So guys, remember that carbon dioxide is actually needed for plant photosynthesis, and this carbon dioxide is taken up from the leaves. So guys, we take the answer option A to be the answer to this question. Since we have here the arrow pointing to the leaves, you can see from this angle here, the carbon dioxide is moving into the leaves. So guys, here we have intake of carbon dioxide, since the arrow points this movement into the plants. So that's an intake of carbon dioxide that will be used for photosynthesis. So let's consider the next question. Question number 6. It says milk can be pasteurized by A, heating to 75 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes, B, heating to 105 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes, C, heating to 115 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes, and D, heating to 125 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes. So guys, the answer to this question is option A, and that's heating to 75 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes. So guys, let's look at the next question. And that will be question number 7. It says, one major difference between plant and animal nutrition is the ability of plants to synthesize A, food for plants and animals, B, water for animals, C, water for plants, B, food for plants only. So guys, the correct answer to this question is option A, and that's food for plants and animals. So one major difference between plant and animal nutrition is the ability of plants to synthesize food that can be used by both the plant itself and animals. So the animals will have to derive this food by feeding on the plants. And guys, this is one of the features that distinguishes the plants from the animals. Plants have the ability to synthesize their food, and this food can be used by both the plants and the animals. So let's look at the next question. Question number 8. It says, the part of the stomach nearer the gullet is called A, pyloric sphincter, D, duodenum, C, cardiac sphincter, and D, epiglottis. So guys, the answer to this question is option C, and that's the cardiac sphincter. The part of the stomach that is nearer to the gullet is called the cardiac sphincter. So let's look at the next question. And that's question number 9. It says, the photosynthetic pigments include A, carotenoids and hemoglobin, B, chlorophyll and carotenoids, C, melanin and hemoglobin, and D, chloroplasts and cytochromes. So guys, the answer to this question is option B, and that's the chlorophyll and carotenoids. The photosynthetic pigments include the chlorophyll and the carotenoids. These pigments absorb light energy, and this light energy is used in photosynthesis. So the chlorophyll absorbs mainly the blue and red light, whereas the carotenoids absorb other wavelengths and help to broaden the spectrum of light that a plant can use for photosynthesis. So let's consider the next question, guys, and that's question number 10. It says, the part of the mammalian digestive system where absorption of nutrients takes place is the A, ileum, B, colon, C, esophagus, D, duodenum. So guys, the answer to this question is option A, and that's the ileum. The ileum is the final part of the small intestine in the mammal before it gets to the large intestine, and that's where the major absorption of nutrients takes place. So once you pass the ileum, you'll get into the colon or the large intestine, where you will now have absorption of water and electrolytes and not nutrients. So guys, the major absorption of nutrients in mammals or in the digestive system of mammals is the ileum. So guys, that's the option A. So let's look at the next question, guys. Question number 11. It says, which of the following statements define plasmolysis? A, shrinking of the vacuole and leaving the cytoplasm attached to the cell wall. B, shrinking of a plant cell in solution. C, shrinking away of the cytoplasm from the cell wall. D, shrinking away of the cytoplasm from an animal cell membrane. So guys, the correct answer to this question is option C. That's shrinking away of the cytoplasm from the cell wall. So guys, the cytoplasm shrinks away from the cell wall during plasmolysis. We know that plasmolysis occurs when you put a cell in a hypertonic solution, and you need to understand that a hypertonic solution is a solution that has a higher concentration than the concentration in the cell. So what happens in this situation is that the cell will lose water to the outside surrounding, and this will cause the cell to shrink. And during this process, the cytoplasm actually shrinks away from this cell wall, pulling itself away from this cell wall. And in this situation, we say plasmolysis has occurred. So let's look at the next question, and that's question number 12. And it says, use the diagram below to answer the question that follows. Okay, we've seen the diagram here, and then the question says the gas evolved in the process is A, carbon dioxide, B, nitrogen, C, carbon monoxide, D, oxygen. So guys, the answer to this question is option A, and that is the carbon dioxide. So this experimental setup is used to test for the presence of carbon dioxide. So here is a setup that is used to test for the presence of carbon dioxide, and lime water is used in this experiment. So guys, in this process, the gas that will be evolved is carbon dioxide. So let's look at the next question. And that's question number 13. It says, which of the following is lacking in the diet of a person with kwashiorkor? A, carbohydrates, B, proteins, C, minerals, D, vitamins. So guys, the answer to this question is option B, and that's proteins. The diet that is lacking in a person with kwashiorkor is proteins. So let's look at the next question, guys. That's question number 14. The question says, which of the following will be first digested if ingested at the same time? A, roasted beef, B, cooked beans, C, butter, D, cooked rice. So guys, cooked rice will be first digested because digestion of carbohydrates starts first before the digestion of any other food nutrient. So we understand that digestion of the carbohydrates starts from the mouth due to the presence of the enzyme salivary amylase. So the salivary amylase, or the ptyalin, is found in the saliva, and that's what starts up the digestion of starch. And guys, cooked rice is an example of this, and it will start digesting from the mouth. So let's consider the next question, guys. That's question number 15. It says, in the alimentary system of a bird, the function of the teeth is carried out by the A, crop, B, beak, C, tongue, D, gizzard. So guys, the answer to this question is option D, and that's the gizzard. The gizzard is the muscular structure in the bird that helps to grind stuffs, and this gizzard actually carries out the function of the teeth because that's where the grinding action takes place. So let's look at the next question. Question number 16. It says, which of the following is the correct classification of carbohydrates? A, macronutrients, B, lipid, C, micronutrients, D, phytonutrients. So guys, the answer to this question is option A, and that's the macronutrients. So carbohydrates is one of the macronutrients. So let's consider the next question, guys. That's question number 17. It says, use the information below to answer the question that follows. I, test tube containing cane sugar and water. II, test tube containing cane sugar and dilute acid. III, test tube containing cane sugar and its degrading enzyme. So the enzyme involved in the hydrolysis is A, sucrase, B, maltase, C, rennin, and D, erepsin. So guys, the answer to this question will be option A. Now guys, It is option A because cane sugar is a carbohydrate subunit that is made up of fructose and glucose, and that's sucrose. So cane sugar is a sucrose in this case. So it will be hydrolyzed by the enzyme sucrase in order to yield fructose and glucose. So let's consider the next question, guys, and that's question number 18. It says, which organism is omnivore? A, lion. B, goat. C, dog. D, man. So guys, already we know the answer to this question, and that's man. Man is omnivore and can feed on both vegetations and animal sources. So let's look at the next question, and that's the second to the last question, and that's question number 19. It says, the enzyme that is present in the saliva is A, ptyalin, B, renin, C, pepsin, and D, lipase. So guys, the answer to this question is option A, and that's the ptyalin. The ptyalin is the enzyme that is also known as the salivary amylase, and that's option A here. So let's look at the next and the last question, guys. Question number 20. We have a dental formula here. That's I 2 over 1, C 0 over 0, PM 3 over 2, M 3 over 3. So guys, before we answer this question, whenever you see any dental formula where there is no canine, it shows you that that's a dental formula for a herbivore. The herbivores do not have a canine teeth. So the space created by the absence of these canine teeth, it's called the diastema. So you need to take note of these in case. So let's look at the options we have here. We have options A, an omnivore, B, a detritus feeder, a herbivore, a carnivore. So guys, like I've explained already, the answer to this question is a herbivore. So let's call it a class here, guys. This will be the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you're not yet a subscriber. Also, ensure to share this video with your friends to enable us gain more views. And if you have any specific question regarding this video, please drop your question on the comment section below, and we'll ensure to give you a response. Also, we encourage you to join our channel membership in order to get premium information on JAMB updates. Thank you for watching this video, and see you next time.